this is where I was talking about on Tuesday that, this market isn't a full-time gig, right? And the guys who've been here, or girls who've been here for several, months, if not a year or two now, have heard me say this for a long time. So it's one of those things where you can never control exactly what's going to happen, right, in the market, but you get certain days that are way easier than other days. And this week, you can get weeks that pay for your year. Sounds insane, and some people will be like, yeah, but that's not consistent. Honestly, that's just how trading sometimes is. You can have days that pay for your week, you can have a week that pays for your years, and you can have days that also take away your months and years, etc. So it's all about trying to find the opportunities that are the best. And of course, that's not always easy to do, but that's why we come here every day, we show up, and by doing that, when setups are supposed to be good and when setups aren't supposed to be as good, right? Because you've been here, you got the screen time. Anyway, I'm just going to go on to, I'm recording this as well, so you guys can watch this back. What size Topsteps? I used to have 150Ks, but when they introduced the activation cost and they took away the refund, I went to 50Ks, which is harder. And obviously you can blow through a couple of them to be able to get big payouts. But I kind of just tried to go for a fairly consistent base. That's not to say that obviously I've not blown accounts. Of course I have. But these have got a fair, nice amount of cushion on them. So I don't mind, using minis. But 50Ks at the moment, I have used 150s in the past, but with their activation fees and they're not refunding the first payment, etc., I just now do 50s because it's cheaper. And the risk as well, also the risk on Topstep, they allow the full daily drawdown. So on Ninja, it's only 1,000, so I have to trade differently, but on Topstep X, you can use the full intraday or the full drawdown of the day, so 2,000, right? Which, therefore, another reason why I switched is on NinjaTrade, if I have a 150K account with a 4.5K drawdown, I can only use half of that, which is 2.25. However, on on Topstep, I can use a 50K account with a 2K drawdown, which is the same as a 150 on Ninja. Sounds really confusing, but as far as I'm aware, that's how I see it. You guys can see NinjaTrader on Zoom, I think. Right, I am recording this, so we will break this down. We will just bring over for everyone on watching this on replay. This is the trade that we just took in the room, and you can see, just for some examples here, we're up 17K on the Express accounts. The trade was here, and it was all done live on Zoom. So I'm just going to break this down for you guys now. We broke it down on the morning, but I didn't record the video. I normally do record the videos, but essentially all we did is, if we zoom out, I want to know how far I need to really go back without going on too much, but essentially I'm going to go to the daily just to kind of give you the breakdown of where we are. Obviously all year we've been in extensions to the upside. I'm not going to draw them all because we've all gone through them throughout the year, so we know where we are. What's important is just to draw our attention to where the most recent extension draw anchor is, and I drew this halfway back on this ATR bar, and that kind of set up the sequence. So refresh your mind back to at the end of November, and if we just look at the 4-hour time frame, we should still be able to sort of see where we are. Okay, so we're on an uptrend, and I have this is the daily extension. So this is the daily 50. I lowered the colors down, but this is the daily 50. We tagged that 50 perfectly, and this is after the daily candle. So this is the daily candle. We get under, over, under, over, under, over. We then tag the 50. This then sets up the draw, right? So this is where we are, right? Okay. Just give me one now. Now I can probably tell you this because I've gotten over it. I've gotten over it. I once did this with you guys and had, for some reason, orders that were left because on Topstep you can drag your profit up, but then I had orders apparently out. So when I was doing this trade review, orders went off, and cut a long story short, after I finished, I was most of my profit was wiped out for the day, which was very frustrating, but that was quite a long time ago. But still, always make sure you cancel your orders or at least lock yourself out. So anyway, when we hit this daily 50, what did we do, guys? What did we do? It's actually insane how accurate these markets are. And I really just don't know how we can trade it any other way, right? Because you come to your daily 50, you then set up a halfway back long. Let's take the indicators off. Boom. It's so perfect. It's like, how can you not use it? It's insanely accurate, right? So that's your 50. And again, you draw this after the fact. This isn't lagging like all the other indicators out there. This is after the fact. So we make the high, we then come to that 50 after reacting off our daily. And again, that daily, remember, that daily is here. This is our daily ATR bar. We have all of this as confirmation that we want to go to the upside. And at that point, we trade complete negative 23, complete 62, complete 100. Put the indicators on. What do we see at those levels? Expansion. This is a 2 times ATR bar, meaning this bar traded 2 times the past 7 ATR bars, and there was a 1.5 in there. So this bar traded 1.5 times the past 7. So this bar here takes into account that. So it's even more volume. That's important because that tells us longs are in the market. People wouldn't be buying this candle if longs weren't in the market, right? So at that point, what do? We go full negative 100 completion, okay? There is no extension anchors in here that I had in terms of I think there might have been here. This is just, again, insanely accurate. I didn't use this extension and I'll tell you why. Although it's valid, I still didn't use it. But look how insanely accurate this is. And again, I didn't use it, but I knew it was there, right? So you've got your high to high. It trades the 38. This is the negative 23 completion here. It's hard to see, but this is the 62 here, and this negative 100 we just completed. Again, it's so insanely accurate. It's sometimes just hard to believe, right? I didn't use that anchor, although it was valid. What I did do, and I'll keep it on the screen just so you can see, what I did is I used the RTH session just because we had an expansion bar. So I used the RTH and I waited for that RTH halfway back, which lined up with the 38. So it doesn't really matter what level you use as long as they're valid, as long as they react, right? It's the 50 of the RTH halfway back, and it's the 38 of the high tie. It's whatever, it's fine, right? It works. They are both valid. And what does that do at that point? When we trade the halfway back, we trade it and we complete. Boom. We complete the 62, we complete the negative 100. There is actually no ATR expansion bars in here. So this kind of tells me longs are potentially still in the market from before because we haven't had an ATR bar up or down. We then have an ATR bar here, which shows us there are potentially some selling, accumulation back into the longs. Why? Why is that accumulation back into longs and not accumulation of sells? Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the next high to high and where does that line up with? And you'll know why I got long today. There we go, right? I got long at the 38 on the overnight session, and then I also got long again with you guys on stream at the open, right? And that's where my thesis comes in for the long, right? Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of that anchor there. Trying to get rid of that. So that is my breakdown for today. And of course, I am covering topics inside the masterclass. Those, of course, high to highs, but there is also same anchor new highs. There is also low to lows, etc., etc. So don't think you're going to understand the full strategy just from this video alone. But those who are watching back on Zoom or watching live on Zoom, you understand obviously the strategy. So for you guys, it's not as obviously technical, right? But there's your example of your longs. And if we just go to a 4-minute chart, we can see what did the market do. Guys, is this making sense? Is this like light bulbs, like, oh my God, this is, let me know, give me some feedback, because this to me, I don't this is just insanely, like, I don't know how else to describe it, but you have your 38 bid, right? What does it do at that point? It takes out the low, of course, so you get your liquidity squeeze, but that happens. But what does it also do? It comes right to, and again, this is tricky because it's a wick to wick, right? So you could argue, yeah, but it didn't actually hit the 50. Of course, we've just had news. So there's going to be orders that, very rarely we get this, but this is basically just called a front run of the 50, right? So it's still valid. If you want to be anal, you could just take the overnight low because that wasn't a wick. So it tagged the 50. And again, completion 23, ATR, completion 62, completion negative 100. What do we then do? I would just then look for the next high to high. I don't think we've traded one now because I would have had an alert, but we haven't yet traded one. But your day is done, right? Do we just complete higher and higher and higher? Of course we can, but that becomes harder to catch that trade because we don't have valid risk to reward until we get some sort of pullback, i.e. a high to high or a same anchor new high. So that is the trade breakdown. I'm just going to see where Tesla my Esler is. I got some swing trades on Tesla. All good. And yeah, I think I'm going to call it there, guys. It's been a great week. I mean, like Darryl said, we had, I think, a loss on the Monday. I need to go back through my trades. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I pretty much had some of the best trades of my career. So a nice way to end the year. And yeah, if there's any other questions, let me know. But I think that was quite an extensive breakdown, and I will get this video uploaded to YouTube.